Matthew 2, 9 through 11. When they had heard the king, they set out, and there ahead of them went the star that they had seen at its rising, until it stopped over the place where the child was. When they saw that the star had stopped, they were overwhelmed with joy. On entering the house, they saw the child with Mary, his mother, and they knelt down and paid him homage. Then opening their treasure chests, they offered him gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. If we look at our nativity scene, we see that there's only a shepherd and Mary and Joseph, and the cradle, the manger, is empty. We don't also add the kings. The kings come after the Savior's birth. And if you listen closely, they come to a house when Jesus was probably about a year old. We like to do Christmas as a Disney production where everyone shows up at the same time. And we'll see that when we look at our nativity scenes. But in the scriptures, we're reminded of the sequence of events, and that a babe who was born in a manger grew as a human, fully divine and fully human. And we remember at this time of the year, we love the red flower, the poinsettia. And we see flowers blooming in the summer, but in the chill and ice of winter, there are very few flowers that bloom. However, the legend of the poinsettia helps us to see why this flower is placed near the manger as a reminder of the love of Christ for each of us. And the legend goes like this. The story is told of Pepita, a poor Mexican girl who had no gift to present the Christ child at Christmas Eve services. As Pepita walked slowly to the chapel with her cousin Pedro, her heart was filled with sadness rather than joy. I am sure, Pepita, that even the most humble gift, if given in love, will be acceptable in his eyes, said Pedro consolingly. Not knowing what else to do, Pepita knelt by the roadside and gathered a handful of common weeds, fashioned them into a small bouquet. And looking at the scraggly bunch of weeds, she felt more saddened and embarrassed than ever by the humbleness of her offering. She fought back a tear as she entered the small village chapel. As she approached the altar, she remembered Pedro's kind words. Even the most humble gift, if given in love, will be acceptable in his eyes. She felt her spirit lift as she knelt to lay the bouquet at the foot of the nativity scene. Suddenly, the bouquet of weeds burst into blooms of brilliant red, and all that saw them were certain that they had witnessed a Christmas miracle right before their eyes. From that day on, the bright red flowers were known as the Flores de Noche Buena, or flowers of the Holy Night, for they bloomed each year during the Christmas season. Today, the common name for this plant is the poinsettia, and we have poinsettias on our altar this morning. As we continue, I invite Wes Shelton to come up and share our last scripture reading and a blessing for the season.
The sixth scripture reading is from John chapter 1, verses 1 to 3 and 9 to 14a. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things came into being through him, and without him not one thing came into being. The true light, which enlightens everyone, was coming into the world. He was in the world, and the world came into being through him. yet the world did not know him. He came to what was his own, and his own people did not accept him. But to all who received him, who believed in his name, he gave power to become children of God, who are born not of blood, or of the will of the flesh, or of the will of the man, but of God. And the Word became flesh and lived among them, and we have seen his glory. Let us pray. O God, whose love blesses and unites us in this place and time, we come devoted to seeking out the lost, the lame, the hungry, and the homeless, as we minister to the poor and imprisoned, the ill and lonely. Let your light shine through us, that they may see your glory. Open our hearts, Spirit of life, to the news of the angels and the wonder of shepherds, that these days may renew us as we await your coming to earth again. We ask these things, trusting in your care for us today and always. Amen.
Amen.